Alright, this morning we are going to go work on the Senator. Some finishing little touches before it goes for sale. So as you can see, Senator is pretty much done. But I have the back seats out again, just to get the parcel shelf out. Because I'm going to try and do a quick repair where this third brake light used to be, with some material from the old parcel shelf. So we'll see how this goes. And while I'm here, may as well show you guys this as well. If anyone's interested, hey, shut up. AU Fairmont, really good body, new tires, 190 Ks, really good condition, $2,000 if anyone wants it. Super clean car, no reg or anything like that, no plates. I'm sure that by the time you see this though, it's 99% sure this is going to be gone. Super clean car, just needs a roof lining. Apart from that, really clean. $2,000. Brand new second hand. So if anyone's legit keen on the Senator, let me know. It's going to be $50,000 that car. Go back and watch a couple of videos about it, everything that was being done to it, etc. Also the AU, $2,000. And while we're on the subject, if anyone wants a VF SSV Ute with extremely low Ks, 52,000 Ks, auto, black, has 20s, exhaust, headers, OTR, all that stuff. So if you're interested in this car, it's going to be 52, fucking hell man, $53,000. Chris's car sales over here. So I want to take the van on an actual drive tonight because there is a car meet on like really close to my house, like 5 minutes from here. So it's a good excuse to take it for a little bit of a drive. I do want to put some Ks on this engine, but I also want to drop the oil, filter and oil again, run a new sort of thing of oil through it. I want to cut open the filter, and I also need to service the Evo and the Ute, so I'm just going to do all three at once in a row. And the best way to start off any work on your car is, of course, now everyone, if you're an avid beer drinker like myself, you need to get onto these. And mate introduced me to these, and they are very nice and super cheap. I've seen them for 35 bucks a slab. I would compare them to Carlton Dries or something like that around there. I think having multiple cars is every car guy's dream, but maintenance, regos, insurances, all that stuff is an absolute killer, and it's really hard to keep track of when you've done what car, what you've done to it, oil filter, blah. Especially if you're doing track days in multiple cars and you're doing oil and filter every single track day after that track day is killer, trust me. But So worth it. And one thing I want to address while I have the car up in the air is this. Now, what have guys done with, well, one of them's just a fuel tank breather sort of return back to it just goes to nothing in the engine bay anyway, so that one's fine. I think it's the thick one. But the top little one is a brake line. Now, as you can see, I can't even fit my pinky finger between, so that worries me a little bit. So I'd like to hear what LS swapped guys have done with this brake line against the headers. I'm going to chuck some of this on it, better than nothing, and pretty much just see what happens if I start boiling brake fluid, like so, and we'll see how we go from there. Now, while I still have the oil filter that I just pulled off the car, and my girlfriend's not at home so I can't get in trouble, I'm going to use our can opener to open the filter and see if there's any shit in the element that's inside. You are joking me. I just broke our can opener. And if you pull apart these little elements and see sparkly shit, then that is a bad thing. But this is all clean, which is very, very good. Cool, happy with that. So one new problem that I've found I'm having with the van is the steering is fine. The Astra Power steering pump works beautifully. It's nice and light, etc, etc. But I think when we had the steering shaft out and we're dropping the K-frame and the rack and all that stuff multiple times, I think something has happened in the column, and I'm not sure if you can see, but this coupler here, so this outside piece here is steel, and inside is rubber sleeves that then goes down onto the steering shaft. Now, when you try to steer this car without the power steering on, trying to get some light, that rubber coupling spins inside the metal outer, if that makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense to everyone. So what my question is we've had that out. When I dropped the rack, that rubber slid out of the coupling. So is there a way standard that is usually attached? I don't know, is it glued in there? No idea. I assumed there was like a slit and the rubber sat in there, and that's what sort of held it in there. So this is so hard to explain. So right now, with the power steering off, I can actually turn the steering wheel and the wheels don't move because that outer casing just slides over the rubber. When the power steering is on, because there's not much pressure on it, it's fine. So has this happened to anyone, and how the hell do I fix it? Have I stuffed the column? Have I stuffed the steering shaft? I got no fucking idea, to be honest. Anyway, I'm going to take this thing for a bit of a drive, so I will take you along. Not going far, so I'll pop you in with a sort of point of view sort of thing hanging from my interior light, so you can see how this thing actually drives now. See, as you can see, because it's moved, now the steering wheel isn't where it should be, which is very, very annoying. And another reason I think it has something to do with the column, the horn doesn't work anymore, and also the indicators don't turn off by themselves when you return the steering wheel, which I'll show you on this corner here. So indicators on, doesn't turn off when the steering wheel returns. And it sounds like it's got a little bit of an exhaust leak underneath the car, so probably headers to the exhaust. I did reuse the gaskets there, so if there is one, that's my fault. This actually rides a lot better than my daily driver Ute that's way too low and hits the bump stops. This actually drives much nicer. Go, 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 go. Jesus Christ. So nice. That noise is the goddamn diff. So I think with this diff I'm just gonna have to start again, like new center, brand new gears, maybe shorten it. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna have have to start fresh. I think this diff's just tainted from the start. Now obviously I'm not going to thrash this car because it still hasn't been tuned. I've just been putting around. I want to put a few Ks on it, work out all the bugs like this steering thing. You know, if there's any leaks or weird noises and stuff like that, because the worst thing is going to get your car tuned and then there's something wrong. And you've just wasted your time, the tuner's time, everyone's time with a car that's not ready. So I want to take it there 100% ready to go so there's no problems. As you can hear, it has a bit of tire up, so I would love to shorten the diff like 10-20 mil aside. Would be perfect. Just so a 235 fits really, really nice. You know what shits me? I don't know if you can see, but there's an ambulance here with the lights and sirens on trying to get through. And no one is moving out of the way. How stupid some people are on the road. That ambulance only just got through the intersection there. It's like a minute later because no one was moving. Ugh. I learnt the hard way with these boxes not to put it in first while you're still rolling, because you will nearly go through the windscreen. Even chirps the tyres into second driving normal because they shift really hard. Now I'm toying with the idea of, I'm not sure if I can do it with this shifter or if they have to change to a shifter with a steel lever on it, but putting the standard executive T-bar but on this shifter mechanism, so it's all manual but I have the standard looking shifter. So I would love to hear if anyone has done that, because this is alloy and the standard shifter is steel, so I'm 99% sure you can't weld those two materials together, but I will look into it. So the temp stays fine in traffic. As you can see, I hear the fans go on and off, so you know, everything's working as it should. Oh, that diff is bad. Oh my god, what's with the traffic? God, this car rock and rolls on idle. I don't know if you can tell through the camera because it has that anti-shake thing on, but Jesus. Stop filming here because obviously I don't want to show people's houses where I'm going, etc, etc.
Why'd you park that shit box in my backyard?
Piss off! Twist and tape.
100%.
Oh, that's nice, man.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna get copyrighted for this song. Ooh, what? Pulling nos stuff. Ah! I'm a pro at fixing door squeaks. Can't even get in there.
Open the door. Oh.
You can't. Your fucking garage is too small. Can't. It doesn't. Your nozzle doesn't even work. The door still doesn't open far enough. Yeah, just spray it everywhere. Not my car, I don't give a fuck. It's all over your door trim. Everywhere. Yeah, it works good, man. Just soaking the absolute shit out of it. It's a bit better. So yes, after looking at Marcus's car today, there is a slot in the shaft that's supposed to slot into that sleeve, if that makes sense. So what has happened is the shaft is too far down into the rack coupling. Therefore, the notches on that shaft on the other end of the column have not seated into the column, so it's sort of just spinning inside itself. So what I have to do is, well, I'm going to pull it off and start again. Because it's spun so many times, I don't know if the rack's centered anymore or anything like that. So I'm just going to pull the shaft out and the coupling and everything and just start again. Center the rack, center the steering wheel, put it all back together and see if that sort of fixes everything. We'll see how we go. And just to finish this one off, something I realized while I was actually editing this week's video is how I mentioned that the indicators don't turn off when the steering wheel returns after turning a corner and the horn doesn't work. That I'm assuming because I've over rotated the column that it has damaged the clock spring inside. So that's one problem. And the steering shaft, look, I'm not going to do that stuff in this video. I really just don't have time this week. I'm actually doing this ending like 20 minutes before I actually post this video on the Wednesday. So I did as much as I could this week. Sorry guys, it's been really busy with like birthdays and stuff like that in the weekend. I just haven't had time for car stuff, so see you guys next week.